If you share your computer with someone and they work on their own RoboHelp 9 projects and they prefer a different workspace to you, or maybe you simply prefer different workspaces for different types of projects, this next lesson will be very useful because we're going to talk about how you can save your workspace, you can save multiple workspaces, and quickly and easily switch between them. So we're still working with our How to Use Lynda.com project here. Maybe for this type of project, we want a different layout. So let's say, for example, our table of contents is something we use on a regular basis. We can right-click that tab and choose floating to have it floating around here. So maybe we like to have that on the right-hand side of our screen, easily accessible for creating our table of contents. And then maybe we want to go to our other pods here that are docked here for our glossary, see also, and our how-to, and we just want to move that over to the left-hand side of the screen so that it's docked on the left in its own column, and then we can click and drag the border, for example, to create a little more space for our design editor. And once we've got it just the way we want, we simply go up to the workspace switcher here, give it a click, and choose Save. Now this is my preferred environment, so I'm going to call it David, just like that. Notice where it's going. It's going to the default folder, the Adobe RoboHelp 9, under My RoboHelp Projects folder, and we'll click Save to save that environment. Now it's already the way I want it, so there's nothing left to do here, but someone else comes in and starts working on their projects, and they start moving things around. Maybe they actually don't even need the table of contents, and they like to auto-hide some of the other ones to create a little more space. So they've got all these options down the left-hand side. Well, they might want to save this, so when they switch back and forth, it's nice and easy by clicking the workspace switcher. They choose Save, type in their name. I'm going to use the name Karen. You can use whatever name you like if you're following along, and click Save. All right, so now I come back and I want to work on my project in my workspace. I click the drop down and you'll see recent workspaces here at the top. I happen to see mine, so I can click it to quickly switch back. Looks just great, just the way I wanted it. And this is floating, so I can move it around to the spot where I want it, just like that. And then Karen starts working on her project, switches to her workspace, looks totally different than mine. And of course, there's a third option. You can always go back to the default and start from there. So this would apply to sharing a computer and having multiple people working on projects using RoboHelp 9, or you may want to use different layouts for different types of projects. So if you were to go to File, to New, and then Project and choose something else like e-learning, for example, you might not have use for certain pods that you want to close up and rearrange your screen, and you might call it the e-learning workspace, for example. So there's just some of the options for creating your own workspace. What happens if you want to get rid of one? Well, you've got all these workspaces and many of them you're not using. Go to Workspace, go to Load, because if you have multiple workspaces and you don't see the most recent ones on that list, here's where you go to load them. So we could go to Karen, for example, select her name, click Open, and we switch to that workspace. But let's say we don't use the Karen workspace. Well, let's just switch back to our default. Click the workspace switcher, go to Load. Even though we're not going to load Karen, we'll select it. And notice there is a delete button up here. You can also use your delete key on the keyboard. Clicking this removes it when you click Yes to confirm. It's gone from the list. We can click Cancel here. And when we go to the workspace switcher, you'll notice even if it's still there, when we try to select it, it's gone. So when you click OK and go back, it won't appear on that list. So multiple workspaces can make it more convenient for you, so you're always working in the most desirable workspace for your particular application.